Good morning, everyone. You know, there's just so much shit going on. Yes, I swore within the first 7 words. I just don't even know. I don't even know where to start. It's insanity. But I chose one piece of insanity to feature in the beginning of this show. Yes, Talcum X, Martin Luther Cream, Thurgood Partial, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yes, Shaun King is at it again. Shaun King is at it again. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Night. Good morning. Yes, I stopped the music already, but I got some other music I'm going to play today. Today it's a laid back day. We're going to have a laid back Tuesday with, I don't even know what this is called. This is all different genres of laid back stuff. Because I need something to calm my nerves. Because there's so much foolishness going on in the world right now. So I'm just going to sit back, sip the coffee out of my PDawg Night cup, take the hair that's in my mouth out of my mouth, and we're just going to get it started. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. It is Tuesday, the 23rd of June, 2020, the year that just keeps getting better and better. Yeah, I'm being facetious. And today, like I said, a little Shaun King, little Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a little Bill Barr, a little bit of this and that. It's kind of a mishmash day because there's just so much going on in the news. But you know what I'm not going to do? I don't think I'm going to talk about Washington, D.C. The events from last night, they're still going on. And I just, I don't get it. But anyway, let's say good morning to the folks in the chat who are here. People rolling in slowly but surely. Good morning to Pin Kahlo. My brother hasn't been in a while. Gets the bell. Good morning, Pin Kahlo. How you doing? And good morning to my friend Richo from Down Under. Good morning, Cairo Alexander, Chi-Town J, Sugar Blue Driftwood with the huge morning. Good morning, Cynical Lindsay. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the story of human remains being found off the coast of Seattle, but oh no, I haven't seen that one yet. Maybe we'll find it. Good morning, Select a Boy.
Yeah, boy.
And, good morning, Sean D.W. Augusto Pinochet, Mr. President, how are you? Johnny Hellcat, my first ever viewer of the Morning Night Live. And I think that's everybody. Is that everybody who's here so far? Oh, Ophelia the Happy Red Panda's here. Chi-Town J, I think I already said. Good morning, Pete, another friend from Down Under. And like I said, people are rolling in slowly. So let's start with the feature in my thumbnail. The man of the hour, sometimes known as Talca Bex, Martin Luther Cream, Thurgood Partial, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yes. Shaun King. Shaun King was tweeting yesterday. You know, this is supposed to... Remember we said this is all about... You know, like the statue thing. You know, they want to tear down all the Confederate statues. And that's all it was. It's just the Confederate statues, right? No big deal. Just those... just want to take down the monuments to the losers, right? The guys who lost the war. And so it was just about Confederate flags and Confederate soldiers. And then it turned into, well, you know, they're tearing down statues of the founding fathers. So some of the ones, well, I thought it was just the ones who had slaves, but they're tearing down statues of abolitionists. They're tearing down the statue of Ulysses S. Grant, Andrew Jackson. Who else they tearing down? They tore down a statue of a saint. The saint that was the Pope made this person into a saint for the missions he started building in California. Well, now we got Shaun King, who's saying it's time to tear them down. Shaun King demands white European Jesus statues come down. Oh, and if you've seen the thread, you will show it in a minute. Left-wing activist Shaun King called Monday for the removal of statues, murals, and stained glass windows that depict Jesus. Good morning, Maddie, by the way. As a white European, which he claimed are a form of white supremacy. So now your churches are white supremacy. Now I know the historical Jesus may have been a little more melanated than he's depicted, but yeah, now he wants you to go after churches. He said, yes, I think the statues of the white Europeans they claim as Jesus should come down. King, a former surrogate on Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders' 2020 presidential campaign, wrote on Twitter, they are a form of white supremacy, always have been. King's targeting of religious artwork comes as various activist groups have moved beyond tearing down Confederate statues and are now calling for the removal of other historical monuments. He continued, in the Bible, when the family of Jesus wanted to hide and blend in, guess where they went, he added. Egypt, not Denmark. Tear them down, he said. And here's the tweet right here. Now. And he said, all murals, stained glass windows of white Jesus and his European mother and their white friend should also come down. They are a gross form of white supremacy, created as tools of oppression, racist propaganda. They should all come down. Now, interesting, spokesperson for King didn't immediately return a request for additional comment. No surprise there. So something interesting though happened on Twitter. Now let's see. Here's the Ace of Spades, my usually go-to media aggregator says racist extremist Shaun King, who is in fact white but pretends to be black for race hustling, race agitation purposes, calls for all stained glass depictions and statues of white Jesus to be torn down. So we saw the tweets already, but I'm going to show you something that's interesting about this. Because a lot of people, let me see. Let me just do a search for Shaun King. Yes, that is. I don't know what that is in my background music, but it's laid back. It's. I said it's going to be all kinds of genres of laid back music. So now Titania McGrath, the Poe extraordinaire, said, "Thank you for your bravery, Shaun King. I just Googled this Jesus cracker and he's everywhere." Oh, that's so funny. So this is Shaun King's tweet. Here, let me put it full screen so you can see the pictures I'm putting up. And then he posted him everywhere. Yep, all the depictions of Jesus here. Now, what's funny is some people aren't happy. I found out yesterday as I was reading people reactions to this is nobody likes Shaun King, and that actually was very heartening to me. So I was just looking at some of the reactions here. Malcolm Nance, who's a commentator on MSNBC, stop helping Trump. Stop people destroying, defacing anything but Confederate statues. Also, screw Shaun King. Hey, Malcolm Nance, you gotta. There you go. I think the people like what you're saying here. Now this is White. It's funny because Newsweek posted it as, how Newsweek translated this. White Jesus statue should be torn down. Black Lives Matter leader says. Black Lives Matter leader. This is Newsweek, a news organization. And then so somebody here right away, get it right, Newsweek. This person has nothing to do with the BLM movement. Retract. Yeah, well, BLM was created and led by black women. You know, the same people who warned us years ago about Shaun King's grifting ways. Damn. Oh, shots fired. Let's see. Let's go back to this other one, though, because just if you go down there, Imani Gundy, who is one of the people who is one of the original, I think she's one of the original Black Lives Matter people. She says he doesn't speak for BLM. He doesn't do anything for anyone that doesn't benefit himself. Period. He uses the money you give him to raise his family and expects us to believe all these little reports he keeps putting out. Yes! You tell him, girl! You go ahead and tell him that thing. Now Shaun King. Oh, and Shaun King's playing victim. Received about 20 death threats in the past 12 hours since I said that statues of white European Jesus are a tool of oppression and white supremacy and should be taken down. It pretty much proves my point. Your religion is actually whiteness with a Christian patina. Well, Shaun King, your religion is Shaun King with a whiteness patina. But it's funny, a lot of people just don't like Shaun King, I'm finding. The only people who care what color Jesus is are racist people. Talking to you, Shaun King. Jesus is the ultimate symbol of love, compassion, and equality. Color doesn't matter. The end. Now, obviously, Mark Levin's not going to like Shaun King or Errol Weber. Nope. Someone named Kasha Jackson. Okay, I don't even know what this is going. 2 young children had their lives cut short due to gang violence in Chicago. Oh, this dude's talking about, you know what? Chicago's a mess this weekend, too. I'm gonna do a video about that, I think. By the way, good morning, Tales of Gore, Donatello Slap-a-Fellow, and I don't know who else is coming in. I think it's gonna be a slower day. I think this is the day that a couple of people that I share a lot of audience with also stream at the same time. But anyway, how is this tweet from Shaun King any different than a noose left in someone's car or hanging on a tree? The man has 1 million followers. He just called for religious violence against Christians. This is a hate crime, a call to violence, threats, and invitation. Thank you. This is Kyle, who's just dropped in the house. Our first super chat of the day. You can do that in the Streamlabs link. It's there in the chat. Thank you. This is Kyle with the 333. Give us a little shakalaka. It says, hello, chat people and PDawg. Well, hello to you also. This is Kyle. Your boy is streaming right now. Which one? I got a lot of friends on here. Anyway, here's what else is shocking me. Twitter left this post up. Twitter literally left this post up. This is literally a call to destroy people's churches, attack churches. Now, in fact, a church in Washington, St. John's, I wouldn't say it was attacked. They sprayed some graffiti on it yesterday outside of Lafayette Park. But I don't think they'd heard Shaun King yet. But it's funny. A lot of people are... Okay, this is someone named Cop with an Attitude. This is a black cop. 3 years old. Black children murdered. One in Baltimore, one in Chicago. Shaun King, Colin Kaepernick, at Al Sharpton, LeBron James. None of these people who all claim to care about black people have said a word. No outrage, no marches. Why not? Because we know that Black Lives Matter as a sentiment is an important sentiment. Just like we believe that all human life is precious. But Black Lives Matter as an organization? Nope. No. The only Black lives that matters in the organization are Black lives that have been taken by police officers. Because I guarantee you, not one of them, I bet you not anyone who at one of those protests can tell you what's the leading cause of death of black men 15 to 54. It ain't cops. Not even close. If Black Lives Matter, we might want to be checking... might want to be checking what is killing black lives. And yes, they are Marxist, Kesley. You're right. The leaders of that, in fact, proudly Marxist. They want this to be. It's not only a community It's not only an organizer group. It's a Marxist group. The leaders of the National Black Lives Matters have said so. By the way, good morning to Kingslayer, Damocles, Kessler, Hate Camel, what's up? And Hey Larry. Hey Larry's in the house. You didn't think they would stop at Columbus, did you? No. But here we go. Felicia Cummings, Black Men and Shaun King. I see 5 light-skinned brothers and talcum. Oh, Felicia. She's one of the she cracks me up. Now activist Shaun King, who isn't black but feels it, wants to tear down statues of Jesus. They are a form of white supremacy. Anyway, I found that people on the left and on the right and in the middle and on the extreme ends, as I read through some of these tweets and replies to Shaun King, I found it humorous that most people hate Shaun King. So you know what? There is hope in the world. Because, what's the word? I know. In the mortal words of Ella Fitzgerald, fuck that motherfucker. All right, let's move on. In the world of politics, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I I'm not sure if she's doing a little bit of Rachel Dolezal or what she's doing here, but wait a minute before I even finish my sentence. Good morning, Maniac Man. Good morning, Irish Rose. I'm so happy you're here. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez maybe pulling a little Rachel Dolezal, or I don't know what she's thinking, but apparently now, according to Ocasio-Cortez, Latinos are black. We run an entire racial spectrum. She was claiming to be black. Democrat New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez argued Monday that some Latino people are black. Yes, some are black, because I'm pretty sure you don't think George Zimmerman is black, do you, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? I'm pretty sure you don't. That some Latino people are black during an interview about how the pandemic is impacting the Latino community. I always say Latinos are black. We are Afro-Latina, and we run an entire racial spectrum, she said during an interview with Telemundo. Ocasio-Cortez, a progressive Democrat, is running for re-election after beating former New York Representative Joel Crowley in 2018. Yes, there are black Latinos, there are white Latinos, there are all kinds of Latinos. There's, I'm sure there's a redheaded Latino somewhere. It's Jesus Christ. Anyway, Ocasio-Cortez went on to suggest that people should have discussions about the African and indigenous roots from which we come and how that's reflected in systems of power, wealth, inequality, and frankly, our political system. How long is this clip? She faces stiff competition in this election year from former journalist Michelle Caruso Cabrera, among other candidates. Caruso Cabrera has raised about $2 billion. Ocasio-Cortez tried through the interview Monday to create the perception that black people and Latinos in the United States face similar struggles. African Americans have some of the highest mortality rates in the country due to COVID, but in terms of our Latino community here in the United States, we are bearing some of the largest economic brunts of COVID-19, and we are experiencing some of the highest unemployment rates and job displacement due to mass layoffs. She said, I wish she would be in the unemployment line. Ocasio-Cortez was referring to the impact the coronavirus pandemic is having on minority communities. Coronavirus or COVID-19 originated in Wuhan, China, before spreading globally. Yeah, we know that. Come on. But, let's see what she says here.
The Latino community has been very affected by this pandemic. And Queens and Bronx
she's doing a little...
Why do you think that is, that Latinos are being so affected by COVID-19?
Thank you, Maddie, for breaking me out of this mind-numbing question. Maddie with the $5 super chat, thank you. That's asinine occasional cortex for you. Just when you don't think she can be any dumber, she proves us wrong. She needs to stop it. Well, yeah, here's the thing. There are all kinds of Latinos, but whites are just white. Well, there's all kinds. Right, Maniac Man. No, there. When the FBI, for example, here's a good example. When the FBI does crime statistics, they don't have a category for Latinos and Hispanics. Did you know that? At least for the crimes. Now, victim surveys do have that. But, for example, when they talk about, rates of violent crime, they have black, whites, Asians, and others, but most Hispanics go in the white category. So you don't really know. But then when you get to the victim surveys or the victim portions of crime and victim statistics, they do have that. So I don't know. But because there's black Latinos, there's white Latinos. Latinos is not a race. It's a, what is it? There's something, it's a ethnicity? I don't know if that's the same thing. I don't know. So, actually, people who are dying. Okay, let me listen to the rest of this.
you know, there's a lot that we learned from the impact of COVID. One is that impact has been racialized, and the race.
It's been racialized. Like, see, the disease goes around and it picks and chooses neighborhoods to go in, and they only go into neighborhoods where there are racialized racialized. So nationality. Well, I guess it's more of a nationality. I don't know what to call it. There's some MC. What's happening?
Hammer time.
So I don't know. It's but how do you racialize a disease? Good God, woman. Good God. Oh, you know what? There's also an aspect of ageism in COVID-19 because most of the older people are dying, and I just don't think that's fair. I think it should be more age diverse of a disease.
That you are
God
really determines a lot about how disproportionately impacted you are. African Americans have some of the highest mortality rates in the country due to COVID. But in terms of our Latino community here in the United States, we are bearing some of the largest economic fronts of COVID.
Are you Latinos or Latinas and Latinxes bearing some of the largest economic fronts? How? If you claim that you're unfairly left out of the employment markets, how? Really? It's so. Please make us the biggest victim. Please. We want to be a victim too, because there's currency in victimhood, and we want to be more of a victim just like everybody else, especially like the black people, because we don't want to be like the white people because they're privileged and we don't have enough victimhood. Let's be more victimized.
19. We are experiencing the highest unemployment rates and job displacement.
Are ya?
Due to the mass layoffs.
Well, you might want to talk to your governor of your state. Hi, Maddie. I didn't say hi to Maddie, even though you gave me. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. I really appreciate that. The super chats really are great incentive for me to do this, and really help more than you would ever know. So I do appreciate those of you who are able to do that, and those of you who are not able to do that, that's fine. Just be in the chat, enjoy the time, have a good time, and share the stream because we're trying to grow the channel too. So that's just as important to me. That was my little breakaway shill. Let's finish this silly little video and keep going.
Reason for that, is because we are vulnerable and essential workers. Many of us are ITIN payers, or we're dreamers, or TPS holders, which usually means that we're the first up on the chopping block when people need to cut jobs.
Well, and what do you mean? What's this we shit, white girl? Little suburb girl. I'm embracing my Latina ex. Except when that one time she talked in front of the whole black audience, and then she was all ghetto. Tried. She sounded like she sounded like a white girl trying to talk black, and it just didn't work. Okay. I mean, I don't know. It's just hilarious.
And it also means that a lot of us don't receive federal relief. And so what we're seeing now is just a crisis of economics, of health impacts, of structural racism that results in disproportionate impacts.
Now she's just throwing words together. Good Lord. Good Lord. And the structural racism and this and that and this and that.
On Latino and Black communities.
And then it's all Hispanic when she says on Latino and Black community. She one word. She uses an accent on one word. Hello, Big Chief Fuzzy Beard, and damn it, Chadwick, how you doing? She on one word she throws in the Hispanic accent, then goes right back into her Valley Girl accent. That's her more natural habitat.
And now that you talk about race, what do you think the Latinx community should do?
Latinx is not a word. Latinx is not a word. But you made it a word because it's the new thing for you to say. But I don't think that it was ever be used in anywhere else. Jesus Christ.
Racism among them and among other races.
Yeah, well, the first thing that's so important is for us to talk about racism within our community and how we are both impacted by racism in the United States and across the world. But
wait,
also
racism in our community? Yeah, because man, I got to tell you, I do got to tell you that there is some racism in some of the Latin countries too. It's kind of weird. There's somewhat of it's almost like a caste system in some of these countries. Anyway.
So how it exists within our own communities.
Oh,
and,
yes. Hi, Dark Isle.
People say, okay, this is about Black Lives Matter. What about Latinos? And I always say Latinos are Black.
Oh! Oh, yes. Except unless you go to Long Beach, Inglewood, or Compton, where the Black people and the Latinos don't really like each other. So they didn't get the memo, Alexandria. Sorry. Or excuse me, Congresswoman Cortez Alexandria. How do you say her name? Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. They didn't get the memo in some places. And guess what? The immigration issue, the illegal immigration issue, that hurts Black people out west. Just letting you know. Just wanted to bring that to your attention, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. I almost said Miss, but then I would be dismissing her position of power. Remember, she's a petition. What's it? She's in a position of power. She talk like she's still oppressed. Anyway,
Afro-Latina and
Afro-Latina
racial spectrum, and so we have to have conversations around.
But you're not Black,
and we have
woman.
To have conversations
you are a suburban white girl for all practical purposes, despite the fact that you have a Latina or Latin last names. Notice I said last names, not name, last names, because you have two last names. So you're still Becky from the suburbs, even though you have a Latina last name. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Maddie. Another $5 super chat who says, Latinos are Black. To quote a YouTuber, what the fuck? Yeah, Latinos are not African. Okay.
The African and indigenous roots from which we come, and how that's reflected in systems of power, wealth, and
systems of power. Says the Congresswoman from the Bronx. Systems of power. Anyway.
And frankly, our political system.
Well, that's freaking brilliant. Anyway, speaking of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I should probably close a couple windows here. The New York Post has endorsed AOC's challenger. The New York Post is endorsing AOC challenger Michelle Caruso Cabrera. Caruso Cabrera made the announcement on Twitter, writing, "The New York Post has endorsed our campaign for New York 14. Read more." Like I said, she's raised $2 million. It'll be interesting to see if Becky from the Burbs keeps her seat in Congress. Is that wrong to call her Becky from the Burbs? I mean, I know that's is that racist of B? Because she's just a white girl from the burbs who has a Latino last name. And even though I don't care if she has Latino parents. I don't know. I'm just being rude. Former cable newswoman Michelle Caruso Cabrera has rightly slammed incumbent Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for leading opposition to the Amazon headquarters project. A, quote, victory, end quote, that cost the district thousands of jobs that they sure would like to have now. The freshman in Congress is a national media star, but that does her constituents no good. Caruso Cabrera is the moderate that our times demand. Per the USA Today, in Ocasio-Cortez's district, she will face 3 challengers, including former journalist Michelle Caruso Cabrera, who has raised about $2 million. Still, Ocasio-Cortez has remained a popular figure in the district and one of the House's biggest fundraisers with $10.5 million raised. Now, what's interesting about that, too, she's been raising... she's been doing fundraisers for other progressive candidates around the country. But yeah, she's a juggernaut as far as raising money for a congressperson. That's unheard of, $10.5 million. She, like members of the squad, facing primaries, has been painted by challengers as more concerned with her newfound fame and quarrels with the president than she is focused on constituents in the Bronx and Queens. In a debate earlier this month, Caruso Cabrera specifically targeted Ocasio-Cortez for being the lone House Democrat who opposed a $2 trillion coronavirus aid package, which offered help for hospitals, increased employment benefits, and included up to a $1,200 stimulus check, among other provisions. She's a Democratic socialist, and she's a polarizing, divisive force, Caruso Cabrera said during the debate, which was held remotely over video conference. She is wrong for the Times, she is wrong for New York, and she is wrong for our neighborhoods. Because she thinks that all this, all the mayhem that's come along with the protests, not the protests, but the mayhem that's come along with it, is just fine and dandy. Anyway, Ocasio-Cortez responded by explaining she was the force behind other pieces of COVID-19 legislation and declined to back the CARES Act in May because it included $500 billion in Wall Street giveaways. It did not do enough to help the immigrant community in New York. She listed a raft of inequalities in her community, including issues related to the coronavirus pandemic, policing, employment, and noted a need for new programs such as Medicare for All to address health care. Okay, yeah, well, whatever. All right, moving on. Decision day. It is a decision day. There's voting in several states today. For civil war between far left and the establishment. A lot of these big primaries, like in Kentucky, who's going to run against Mitch McConnell. A lot of these Democratic primaries have a lot of these. I wouldn't say they're necessarily Democratic socialist candidates, but definitely there's some far left candidates, progressive candidates that are running again for some of these Democratic primary seats. There's a battle in the Democratic Party right now. The Ocasio-Cortez wing versus the establishment wing. It's going to be really interesting. What's happened here? Healthcare. Yeah, healthcare is not right. No, it's not. It's not right. Anyway, Tuesday's primaries see establishment Democrats face far left challengers in big money races. Establishment-backed Democrats in Kentucky and New York are facing off a left-wing backlash that could see millions of dollars go to waste and threaten party unity in the run-up to the 2020 elections. Yeah, that's the other thing. So a lot of these candidates are raising tons of money, but they're having to spend it to win their primaries. So it'll be interesting to see how well, I'm sure their fundraising will be pretty decent after this, but anyway. In the Kentucky Democratic Senate primary, the emergence of an African-American state lawmaker with support from progressive groups is threatening to derail Amy McGrath's campaign to challenge Senator Mitch McConnell. In November and in New York, Justice Democrats candidates Jamal Brown is seeking to unseat 16-term Representative Elliot Engel by painting the incumbent Democrat as out of touch with his increasingly progressive district. Party leaders who back McGrath and Engel face a potential lose-lose situation, with both the establishment candidates facing fierce competition in their primary races this Tuesday. The Chuck Schumer-controlled Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee endorsed McGrath in February with the help of its national apparatus. She has raised $40 million in her bid to oust McConnell. Yeah, there's money coming in from all over the country for her. I've always wondered about that too. Do you think it might be a good idea? Well, no, I don't know. I'm going to say no. I'm going to answer the question myself, but a good idea to say, hey, if you're going to raise money for your campaign in this state, you should raise it in this state. But, that's not going to happen because, Hollywood loves to, especially Mitch McConnell. There's money coming in from everywhere to get Mitch McConnell. Anyway, with the help of its national apparatus, she's raised more than $40 billion in her bid to oust McConnell, more than any other Senate candidate in the 2020 cycle. Giving her backing by the National Party and massive money advantage, McGrath has been a favorite to coast to victory in Tuesday's primary, but not so fast. The fatal police shooting of Breonna Taylor in Louisville this March flipped the race on its head, giving progressive state legislator Charles Booker a serious shot at winning the nomination. Booker saw his candidacy skyrocket in the wake of George Floyd's death in Minneapolis police custody, and landed endorsements from prominent progressives as he took a leading role in anti-police protests. Yes, that's exactly what we need in the Senate. As someone who's in the anti-police protest. Anyway, Bowman's campaign is focused on the Black Lives Matter movement, highlighting Engel's gaffes on the issue. Following violent protests in New York City, the incumbent Democrat was caught on a hot mic at a June 2nd press conference saying he wouldn't care about speaking if he didn't have a primary. Both races pit the party's progressive wing against the national establishment. University of Kentucky political scientist Stephen Voss called the dynamic an age-old battle. The ideologues always think that a more partisan, more ideologically pure candidate will do better because they'll excite the party. Almost everyone else says, no, the way you win is by appealing to the median voter, the person in the middle, he told the Washington Free Beacon. To the extent the mobilize the base strategy is effective, that's usually in lower turnout elections where the base is the minority of the electorate but can still win if people aren't turning out. The unexpected tightening of the Kentucky Senate primary complicates the 2020 election for Democrats. Senator Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, Representatives Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ayanna Pressley of Massachusetts, and former Kentucky Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes all backed Booker in recent days, helping him more than double his fundraising efforts in the last 2 weeks alone. On one hand, McGrath's war chest would likely help Democrats put pressure on McConnell in the general election, but her candidacy has been weakened by Booker's surge, and while Booker could emerge from the primary with grassroots momentum, his victory would allow the McConnell campaign to run against a far-left opponent in deep red Kentucky, according to Cook Political Report Senate editor Jessica Taylor. Now, here's the thing, and this is true. If Booker somehow comes out and beats McGrath, McConnell's a lock. He's almost a lock anyway. This is Kentucky, people. Yes, Kentucky has a Democratic governor. Yes, McGrath has raised millions and millions of dollars. But Mitch McConnell, it's always just one of those pipe dreams they have to try to take down McConnell. I ain't seeing it. I'm just not. Now, it continues. McGrath's weakness have kind of been laid bare here. She can have good ads and spend lots of money, but this really calls into question some of her candidate skills, Taylor told the Free Beacon. And while I think running as a candidate with Bernie Sanders' endorsement could help Booker in a primary, I don't think it helps him at all in the general election in Kentucky. Yeah, because Kentucky wants nothing to do with Bernie Sanders. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. But Booker apparently is leading McGrath in the primary by 8 points, according to one data poll. Schumer defended McGrath, calling her a strong candidate that will give McConnell a run for his money. But behind closed doors, Schumer admitted that he did not consider McGrath a top-tier candidate and planned to use her to raise money against McConnell. her fundraising has been the biggest strength, but I think part of that has been driven just by who she's running against, Taylor told the Free Beacon. Yeah, because you can raise money from all the progressives and Democrats from all over the country, and everyone hates Mitch outside of Kentucky, especially Hollywood, California. All they got to do, they could run, I bet if they just went up and down California, they could raise another $10 to $20 million from just saying, hey, it's Mitch McConnell. Oh, hell, we hate that motherfucker. Anyway, hey Six, how you doing? I see you dropped in. Thank you, sir. I'm glad you're here. So anyway, it's the age-old battle between the establishment and the non-establishment, but in this case, the non-establishment is way out. Well, on your side, it'd be way out there in left field. Left's that way for you guys. I don't know. It'll be interesting. It will be interesting. Let's see here. Let's change gears a little bit here. I got a Federalist article here. The woke mob slavering over Tucker Carlson's job or are proving him right. I thought this was pretty good. I figured I'd share this one today. Money should only come from the state the candidate lives in. You know, that was my question, if that should be the case. But as I think about that, I don't, in theory, yes, it should. Your support, just like you shouldn't be able to take foreign money in a presidential election. But I understand too that everyone is affected by the decisions made by politicians. I mean, I personally believe that it should. I'm going to take that into consideration. I will certainly, if I'm watching candidates in my state or in my district suddenly start taking a bunch of money from, some, bigwig corporations out in California or whatever state, or individuals from other state, I'm gonna go, hey, wait a minute. Why are you people meddling my state? On the other hand, these offices do, they affect everybody. Anyway, all right. A decade ago, I got a hard lesson in practical freedom. My summer boss, then and now a famous media personality, told me and the other interns that if we ever disagreed with him on any subject, he would debate us then and there. Proof of his commitment to freedom of thought and speech. I took him on one day about a controversy in the news. He gave me the floor, then respectively mopped it with me. Today he holds the opposite position on that issue, loudly talking up my old positions in recent months. Perhaps someone more persuasive came along. The practical freedom we had to reason together worked. As the turmoil has swept our streets and Facebook feeds, however, we've lost sight of the importance of our free speech culture. Human beings are both fallible and redeemable, so words can change minds and reorient hearts. But the following horrific images of callous death mingled with riots, too many Americans are learning the wrong lessons about how we need to respond. Say the wrong thing or fail to say the right thing, and you might find yourself canceled. Life ruined with no hope of redemption for your 15 minutes of shame. While the formal First Amendment remains, the practical freedom to speak slips away. So apparently, Black Lives Matter has been going after Tucker Carlson. Everybody's going after. All the lefties hate Tucker because Tucker tells them shit that they need to hear. Wikipedia snippet, I did not even say you. Good morning to you too. And Secederunt. One of these days I'll say that right. Maybe you could spell that phonetically for me, but it's Secederunt. It's Secederunt, something like that. Tucker Carlson reported last week 62% of likely voters have a favorable view of Black Lives Matter, an organization named after an incontrovertible fact that has been too often denied by the law. I suspect there are many reasons for such significant public support, chiefly that the ends of law and order do not justify the means of police brutality, especially considering it was not so long ago that this country explicitly subordinated blacks under the law. That utilitarian bargain of brutality for order, which has persisted in many American cities for generations, ignores the nature of beings created in God's image, persons deserving equal protection, due process, and the freedom to speak and be heard. Still, too many, in the name of Black Lives Matter, have neglected these universal principles, embracing the same utilitarian calculus they purport to resist. If you do not publicly support their platform without reservation, you risk being made into an example. If you're on the path of a real or digital mob, your destruction may become the means to the ends of this cause. Many activists will say, we tried speaking, we tried kneeling, and nothing changed. So now a phalanx of activists and HR departments resort to policing speech while criticizing the police. Carlton rightly pointed this out last Monday night in a monologue that drew more than 4 million viewers. He truthfully reported that many people who respectfully disagreed with Black Lives Matter have been summarily cast out of their jobs, hit with a digital scarlet letter, staining their Google results forever. Even the stepmother, the woman who married that officer Derek Chauvin's father, got fired just for being married to Derek Chauvin's father. His stepmother got fired. Anyway, but it got meta fast. Carlton's critique of Black Lives Matters for silencing anyone who critiqued it was met with activists trying to silence him by threatening his advertisers. Those who disagreed with Carlton are doing a wonderful job. Excuse me. Sorry. Those who disagree with Carlton are doing a wonderful job of proving him right. There's no comparison between canceled and being killed. George Floyd will never take another breath, yet we cannot solve the deep interlocking problems that led to his torturous last 8 minutes and 46 seconds if we are more concerned about the consequences of our conversations than the consequences of the status quo for black men and women. We may believe this time is different, that 2020's exhausting cycle of plague, protest, and purge is exceptional and justifies setting aside our normal tolerance. Wrong. The first half of 2020 follows the historical norm, where the Hobbesian wheel of oppressed and oppressor crushes dissent. What is exceptional, what we must work to preserve, are those fleeting periods in which a culture of civility and free speech allows the flourishing of ideas for new frontiers of justice and peace. Silencing your opponents fundamentally undermines social justice. This is true even if the argument they are making not only threatens your worldview, but seems to deny your right to exist. Reciprocally denying their rights solves nothing. The utilitarian logic that we must turn down the volume on some people before they do it to us has no end. After all, who gets the remote? More important, muting your opponents will not change their minds nor make them disappear. Too many people think politics works like a comic book movie, where winning an election or firing your opposition is like the snap of a finger that makes all the villains turn to dust minutes before the credits roll. Wrong again. We have to live with people who get canceled to share a country with them. Sooner or later, the canceled will become yet another aggrieved crowd, just as an eye for an eye would leave the world blind. Stamping out everyone you disagree with leaves the world talking without speaking, hearing without listening. In case it wasn't obvious, it was Tucker Carlson who debated Intern Me and later changed his mind. He is right. We must reaffirm that no person, organization, or cause, no matter how righteous, is above criticism or beyond persuasion. To reintroduce the possibility of sharing a big, diverse nation once more. Now, this is from somebody named T.S. Geyser. And if you listen to the language, obviously T.S. Geyser doesn't probably normally fit in with the views of the Federalists. And yet, here he is, making sense. Huh. Interesting. All right, last article, then we're going to move on. Little Bill Barr action. Just like I said, it's going to be a hodgepodge today. So, Bill Barr says the effort to push Trump from office, closest thing to a coup since the Lincoln assassination. Oh, my. Attorney General William Barr took his verbal scalpel and shredded the complete, quote, bovine silence, end quote, of the media following the, quote, complete collapse, end quote, of the attempted coup of President Trump, an attempt that he agreed hasn't been seen since the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. Well, there have been a couple other assassinations since then, but anyway. Other than that, the interview on Sunday morning with Futures with Maria Bartiromo was a complete snorefest. Real Clear Politics provides a transcription of the interplay between the Attorney General and host Maria Bartiromo, who told Barr, quote, a source said to me a couple years ago, I wish I could do this in Maria Bartiromo's voice. I mean, listen, Maria Bartiromo used to be on CNN a long time ago, and she's on Fox Business, I think. And her voice has gotten shriller and shriller and shriller the older she's got. But anyway, she's still a pretty decent journalist, though. A source told me that a couple years ago, speaking of the Russian collusion story, that this was the closest the United States has ever come to a coup to take down a president since the assassination of Lincoln. Is that an appropriate statement? Bartiromo asked Barr. Now that's interesting because they said Barr said that. Anyway. In this sense, I think it's the closest we've come to an organized effort to push the president out of office. Barr agreed. I'm not reaching a judgment to what the motivations were. He said that the motivations may have been different for each of the players in the scandal, but there was more. Barr's exasperation with an incurious media and their lack of concern over the Russiagate toll on civil liberties was stunning to him. Quote, it's been stunning that we've gotten from the mainstream media a sort of bovine silence in the face of the complete collapse of the so-called Russiagate scandal, which they did all they could to sensationalize and drive. And it's like not even a whoops, and they are on to the next false scandal. So that has been surprising to me that people are not concerned about civil liberties and our government process. The investigation into the underpinnings of the Russiagate scandal is underway by U.S. Attorney John Durham, but Barr admitted that the pandemic has slowed down interviews in the matter. As far as Durham's investigation is, he's pressing ahead as hard as he can, and hopefully we'll have some developments, hopefully before the end of the summer. His investigation will continue. It isn't going to stop because of the election. It may depend on who wins the election. There has been delay because of pandemic. Yes, there has. And then also, let's see, what else did he talk about here? He also talked about, let's just go through it. He also said it's no secret that grand juries have not been held in the various districts since the pandemic began, and that there was a distinct slowing down of the process of interviewing witnesses. But Durham's office has been working where he can on other factors that he can during the pandemic. Among other things, he'd like to know is why there was so much unmasking of Trump-related people during the latter days of the Obama administration. Barr also talked with Bartiromo about the Seattle's CHOP, so-called autonomous zone, where leftist radicals squatting there have committed shootings, assault, murder, rape, pillaging. I'm sorry, I added a couple there, but they're true. Barr wouldn't say what plans there are to intervene, but did say that his job was to mete out justice equally and fairly without the influence of the mob. He said protests are fine, but mob violence is not, and we need to restore public order. By the way, the mayor there's, I think, may have had it. She seems almost willing to clear that shit out because of the recent murders there. On the Rashad Brooks shooting in Atlanta, Barr said that he would have preferred that the investigation into the shooting been finished before charges were filed against the police officers involved. You think? And then Bartiromo also asked about the former National Security Advisor John Bolton's new book, Dishing Dirt on President Trump. Barr said the Trump administration has not asked him to look into the publication of the book that is said to contain classified information. Barr said he's in the loop anyway because of the process by which sensitive books are vetted. He said one of the things the Trump administration may do if they can't stop the publication is to recover all of Bolton's earnings on the book. Taking Bolton's millions in earnings for the book is legal for the administration to do. That's interesting, but we're not going to watch we won't watch the thing here. Let's get into Twitter trends because oh Lord, Twitter's a bit of a shit show. Well, it was a shit show. Maybe it's calmed down a little bit since I looked at this earlier. So let's check the Explore. Oh, by the way, let's do a couple thank yous real quick. Thank you to Maddie, the news chick, and to Cynical Lindsay for tweeting out the show. If you haven't, by the way, I never shilled today. The Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the people watching this show. Please share the stream. I don't know, Carrie, how you do it. You can do it on one of those Twitter thingies or Minds or Gabs. You can follow me on there and retweet, repost, republish. Or you can hit the share arrow down below and you can decide from where you're going to go from there. It takes a couple clicks. You can share the show out. Also, if you like what we do on the show, please make sure you hit the like button at some point while you're here or on your way out. I will remind you. Hi, Mike Savage. Hi, who else? Someone else just showed up. Hi, Mike Savage. Someone else just showed up too. It was Heroic Nico, and there was someone more. There were like 3 people. Oh, Black Hebrew Israelite. What's up? There you go.
That's right.
All right. And then super chats and donation stuff. Just go through Streamlabs link, PDawgnight.live, or it's over there in the chat. All right. Notification tab, the tab on the Explorer of Twitter today. Yes, it's been COVID-19 for almost a solid week now. Which I find fascinating that they are the people that be at Twitter seem to be shying away from the protests. Like, the protests were all the rage, but now the protests are doing stuff that they really don't want you to see as much, maybe. And so Twitter's like, let's go back to COVID because we want to scare people into staying home again. I don't know, but for some reason, we're not going to go through COVID updates because I want to go through just the trending today. Just the trending. T-Mobile Tuesdays, don't care. Sorry, if you're a T-Mobile person, and go check out T-Mobile Tuesdays. We're also going to skip Tuesday. It's a Tuesday extravaganza on Twitter today. T-Mobile Tuesdays, Tuesday thoughts, Tuesday vibes, Tuesday morning, Tuesday motivation. Okay, we'll do a Tuesday motivation. What the hell? Andrew Hawkins, whoever this is, by the way, anyone you see on my Twitter or my stream, just leave them alone. Just if you want to interact with them, that's fine, but don't be rude and don't use my name. Thank you. He says, whatever you are on beautiful Mother Earth, have an amazing day today with oodles of love from Scotland. Well, Andrew, thank you. Thank you, sir. That is such a kind and gentle Tuesday motivation. I just, it actually made my day. I'm not kidding either. It made my day. Just a nice, sweet sentiment from Scotland. Awesome, Andrew. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Nicely done. All right. Okay, for some reason, Ellen's Happy Father's Day is promoted here. I never understand the promote. It's behind. Anyway, I'm not moving until the sun comes out. Tuesday motivation. Cute dogs of Twitter. Well, okay. Love is never wasted on a dog. Hey, that's a good one, right? Right? That is so true. My dogs are awesome. I love my dogs. And for some reason, more dogs. Donald Trump tweeted, wow, the Trump rally gives Fox News the largest Saturday night audience in its history. Isn't it amazing that virtually nobody in the mainstream media is reporting this rather major feat? Well, they don't. Most of the people in the media don't. Well, actually, that's not true. CNN constantly talks about the other media. Fox News. That's all they talk about. Fox News. But anyway, somebody, F you Trump a liar, says Trump has failed miserably since day one, causing mass shootings from his racist rallies. What the fuck are you talking about? Causing mass shootings from his racist rallies. I need a citation. Ignoring a pandemic crisis. Well, no, he didn't. But disease spreads without the... Anyway. Causing lots of unnecessary death and sickness. Yeah, that's all Don Trump, isn't it? Not addressing the crisis of racism. You know, that's interesting. Oh, and then they put some little polls up. 33 approve. What? 61 different approve. What poll is he looking at? On healthcare, 28% positive. On economy, 41% positive. It was above until this. Hey, how you? These people are stupid. Okay, so and then I'm gonna get off of this one. Anyway, I'm not. It's not motivating me anymore. I'd like the motivation from this guy. Let's say it again. Oh, well, maybe not. All right, moving on. National Hydration Day. Oh my God, never heard of it. Moving on. Novak Djokovic, the tennis player, has tested positive for COVID-19. Just another celebrity, probably, I'm going to guess, in the peak of health, and probably like, who was the guy that passed out on stage the other day? D.L. Hughley. Also, when he passed out on stage at a comedy club, which was weird. Comedy club, no one in the comedy club wearing masks, but D.L. Hughley's on stage and he kind of passes out, and apparently he also tested positive for COVID-19 with no symptoms. Symptoms. I can't even say the word. No room for squares. What's up? Anyway, but I'm not going to read any more of that. Kentucky is trending though, because the Kentucky primaries. Here's the thing. Some people were really pissed off about Kentucky that they reduced the number of polling locations and basically made some giant polling locations in Kentucky, and some were saying, oh, this is voter suppression. Well, first of all, this is a primary. The governor's a Democrat, so I don't think it's voter suppression. But also, what Kentucky did, they completely liberalized their voting system for these primaries because of the fact that COVID-19 is an issue. So they lowered the number of polling places, but the ones that they made are gigantic, like just ridiculously huge, and they've allowed mail-in voting, and they've had their polling places open for like 2 weeks. So it's not any voter suppression. You know, it's funny because, like, remember in Georgia, the Stacey Abrams still says that it was voter suppression that caused her not to be governor. She lost and all the liberals are out there, she lost the governorship because of voter suppression. Bullshit. She lost by 50,000 votes in the highest midterm turnout election in 50 years in Georgia. So what voter suppression was there? Well, there was voter suppression because the governor used to be the Secretary of State. She lost by 50,000 fucking votes. Anyway, with only one polling place designated for Jefferson County, which includes Kentucky's largest city, Louisville, state lawmakers and voters are bracing for long lines in Tuesday's primary election. People will be able to vote at the Kentucky Exposition Center, which will be split between each of the county's 18 legislative districts. Kentucky State Board of Elections says there's a lot of misinformation surrounding voter suppression claims, noting the state is offering mail-in ballots and expanded access to early voting. Update. This moment has been amended to clarify Jefferson County as designated polling location for all 18 legislative districts. So here it is. In Louisville, a city of 600,000, there's only one in-person voting place for tomorrow's elections. But it's a freaking stadium with thousands of places to vote. Doubt if there'll be super long lines. Plus, they're allowing mail-in voting. Plus, they've been voting for 2 weeks now. If you really, really, really want to vote in a primary in Kentucky, you can. But everyone's complaining. AJ Plus, which is Al Jazeera, Kentucky will cut its number of polling places from 3,700 to 200 for its primary, reports the Washington Post. Voters report delays in getting mail-in ballots, but a judge dismissed concerns of voter suppression. It's a Democratic governor who did it. Don't know why they did it. I don't get it. I don't care. It's a primary. Whatever. Kentucky State Board of Elections clarified that people who requested a mail-in ballot but haven't received it yet will still be able to vote in person on primary day tomorrow. They'll be able to cancel their absentee ballot at the polling place, cast a new ballot in person. Okay, how they're going to manage that, who knows? You can still vote early today in Louisville if you have a concern about lines tomorrow. This is from yesterday. And did request an absentee ballot, go to vote today. Yeah, they completely tried to make it easier. Black Hebrew Israelite, if I had a corner to put you in, you would be in the corner, but I don't put people in the corner like some streamers do. I'll be voting. Oh, never mind. I'll be voting out AOC. Oh, never mind. I'll give you a bell for that. And a.
That's right.
Never mind. I read that wrong. I thought you said I'm voting for AOC. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. No, 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 no. Anyway. All right, so that's why Kentucky's trending. Martha Ford's trending. Martha Firestone Ford, Sheila Ford Hamp. In the NFL, what is going on in the NFL? Lions fan when they hear Martha Ford stepped down, but then realized her daughter stepped up. First picture is the Lions with Martha Ford as the owner. The second picture is now the Lions with Sheila Hamp as the owner. So Martha Ford is stepping down as the Lions owner. She's 94 years old. She was at many practices and every game. She wants to win. She wanted to win. She did a great job for the Lions, and Sheila shares her mom's passion to win. So the team folks have no clue what they're saying. Lions are moving in the right directions. The direction... Well, any Lions fans in the chat that want to address that, I'm just going to skip right now because I'm afraid to see it. Mel Gibson's trending because, again. See, now's the time for everyone to bring out your dirty laundry on everybody because let's get everybody canceled. Mel Gibson accused of, he's trending right now, by the way. Mel Gibson accused of anti-Semitic oven dodger comments by Winona Ryder. Well. Winona Ryder has revealed that Mel Gibson once asked her if she was a oven dodger while prompting outrage on social media. The Stranger Things actress opened up about the incident in a wide-ranging interview with the Sunday Times. Ryder, who identifies as Jewish. How do you identify as Jewish? You're either Jewish or not Jewish. Ryder, who identifies as Jewish, explained, "We were at a crowded party with one of my good friends, and Mel Gibson was smoking a cigar." Oh, strike one. Whatever happened there. And Gibson was smoking a cigar. And we're all talking, and he said to my friend who's gay, "Oh, wait, am I going to get AIDS?" And then something came up about Jews, and he said, "You're not an oven dodger, are you?" You know what? I'm sure those were Mel Gibson's exact words, and he's getting savaged on Twitter. whatever. Winona Ryder's got her publicity now, and she's just now talking about it. She should have turned him into the police a long time ago, or at least got him canceled. Mia Khalifa's trending. The porn actress. Hold on now. It's always dangerous to click on anyone who might have been in an unsavory business. Let's see. Mia. I'm just going to read it for me. I'm sorry, but people who literally treat Mia Khalifa as an object instead of a living, breathing female with a story and a family and a personality have got to go. Y'all think sexism ain't an issue anymore? I'm just gonna scroll, make sure there's no. Okay, there's nothing on here. Okay, Mia Khalifa, the 3-month in porn actress who was fairly prolific, is trending. Mia Khalifa was the only in the adult entertainment industry for 3 months, was barely compensated for the amount of money her videos have brought in, and has been shamed within our society. When you realize Pornhub pays you $20K to be in a video without your face in it. Girl, don't do it. It's not worth it. And that says Mia Khalifa. Mia Khalifa is constantly being harassed online and in person for previously working in the porn industry by men that used to watch her porn. Makes me incredibly fucking angry. What the fuck? Why? How did this even come up? No pun intended. I'm sorry, but I have so much respect for Mia Khalifa. Being under a contract really sucks, and being pressured into doing things that you don't want to do is beyond real, and I'm saying it by experience. Okay. Okay, let me see. What is this it?
All of the emails go, my manager checks them, and when he gets stuff like that, he filters them and sends them to me.
So you must be making some money if you have a manager.
Some of these girls who have been sex trafficked and forced into porn, and all of these stories of girls whose lives have been ruined by it, and by men who have taken advantage of them, and by contracts that they didn't even understand the jargon of. It makes me feel like, okay, maybe it was good that I started talking and that I posted this interview and that I'm speaking out now, because other people feel the same way. And even if they don't relate on as deep a level as, doing porn, they can relate on the level of being insecure and being pressured into doing something they didn't want to do.
Okay.
All of the emails go, my manager.
All right, interesting. All right, well, anyway, apparently she has been speaking out on her career, and it has an interview out. All right. What's crazy, well, I don't know. I don't spend a whole lot of time doing that. Anyway, all right, let's move on. Scott Alexander, something about baseball. Oh, Tina Fey. This is the one I wanted to get through. Apparently Tina Fey is having some issues now, because apparently there's been some episodes of 30 Rock. Apparently I didn't even know this because I never watched 30 Rock, but there's some episodes of 30 Rock that had blackface. 30 Rock blackface episode pulled from streaming and syndication at Tina Fey and NBCU's request. I'm not sure what NBCU is. 30 Rock creators Tina Fey and Robert Carlock, along with the show's NBC Universal owner NBC Universal, have asked that 4 episodes of the series in which characters appear in blackface be removed from streaming and syndication. Tina Fey. Now that show, when did that? I think that show just went off the air like in 2012, 2013, or something like that. In a note obtained by Variety and shared below, Fey wrote to the platform saying that the episodes are best taken out of circulation and apologizing for pain they have caused. You know what? I don't know what pain they've caused. Maybe are we so damn sensitive? Like, for example, Jimmy Kimmel was trending yesterday, and Jimmy Fallon, because they did blackface back in the day. What was it? Jimmy Kimmel, did the Charles Barkley imitation, which was funny, and he was spot on Charles Barkley. And it's almost like he's doing a character. Do people really care? Do some? I think it's just, yes, blackface back in the day was a kind of a very insulting style, but this is not that type of blackface. He was doing a character of Charles Barkley, who's a buffoon. And I said on Twitter, I said, would it been okay if he had made fun of Arnold Schwarzenegger instead? I mean, take out the blackface and all, but whatever. And then he also did apparently way back in '96, I think, they did a parody music, a parody song of Snoop Dogg doing this song about Christmas, where he did it in the style of Snoop Dogg, spot on, funny as hell, but he also used Snoop Dogg's choice of language, which included a few N-bombs, and so now somebody found that too. So between him doing Charles Barkley and doing the Snoop Dogg song, throwing out some N-bombs on a record, a musical selection, people are going after him again. And I just say, I'm not a fan of Jimmy Kimmel, but at least back then he was funny. He's just not funny anymore. So that's why I don't like Jimmy Kimmel now. But it's comedy. And yes, are they going to cancel the Wayans brothers for the movie White Chicks too? I don't know. There is something humorous about it that has nothing to do with trying to denigrate people. They were that form was not denigrate. But anyway, in a note obtained by Variety and shared below, Faye wrote, here's again, wrote to the platform saying that the episodes are best taken out of circulation. Yeah, because right now, it don't matter. You apologizing drew attention to this. Sorry, Tina, you're canceled now, I bet. As we strive to do the work and do better in regards to race in America, we believe that these episodes featuring actors in race-changing makeup are best taken out of circulation. I understand now that intent is not a free pass for white people to use these images. I apologize for the pain they have caused. Going forward, no comedy-loving kid needs to stumble on these tropes and be stung by their ugliness. Thank you, NBC Universal, for honoring this request, Faye wrote. All of the episodes will be removed by the end of the week. What do you mean by the end of the week? If you're going to remove them now, motherfucker. No, never mind. I don't give a shit. Hey there, Willett Forge. How you doing? Whatever. So anyway, I wonder if it's too late to download those episodes just to have them for... just to have them for posterity's sake. Let's see what people on Twitter are saying about it, though, because Tina Fey is trending. Let's see if anyone is, what's the word? If anyone is gracious, forgiving, those kind of words. Tina Fey got her wish. Let's see what her wish was.
And yet I hope that, like Mark Twain, 100 years from now, people will see my work and think, wow, that is actually pretty racist.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Tina. All right. Wasn't Tina Fey the head writer on 30 Rock? Yes, she was. You get the prize, Johnny. Tina Fey also has a shitty track record when it comes to depicting Asian people, women in particular. Mean Girls, Sisters, 30 Rock. The underlying joke is that they're hypersexual and looking for green cards and can't speak English. Oh, she's getting savaged. I just think it's funny that I've been talking about Tina Fey's racism for almost 20 years, but whatever. Let's get into this racial reckoning for white celebrities. Yes, let's do. I can't wait for more and more and more of this. Let's just continue doing this as much as we can. Well, I don't, in some ways, though, the hypocrites, that video the other day we looked at, I take responsibility. Remember that one? I want to go through each and one of those celebrities and see if there's anything in their work we need to talk about that they really need to take responsibility for. Now this 30 Rock creator Tina Fey and Robert Kelly, requested blah, 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 blah. They apologize. There we go. Tina Fey is racist as hell. How am I just learning about this now? Blackface on her show 30 Rock. Yellowface in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. That's a black woman doing yellowface. Repeatedly using Asian stereotypes as the butt of a joke. Cast white actors to play Native American roles in Kimmy Schmidt. Okay, so there's blackface now. There's a black woman doing Asian, and there's Asian getting some, and some. There's the. Are these white people? Are they? But you're Indian jacket. Okay, I don't know. It's. Oh, good God. You're dragging Tina Fey and 30 Rock. Then It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Better be next. Oh my God. It's you know what? Every show's going down, baby. Every show is going down. We're going down. I'm yelling timber. Too much blackface in your script. Anyway, Scott Alexander, we already skipped that. Aubrey Huff, MLB, Chicken Run. Oh, they're going to do a sequel to Chicken Run. Remember the movie Chicken Run, the claymation movie? That there's going to be a sequel on Netflix. I'm not going to click that. Andrew Jackson, police. Okay, here's the DC story. Police clashed with DC protesters after an attempt to tear down Andrew Jackson's statue. Reporters on the ground said police deployed chemical irritants to disperse a group of protesters who attempted to tear down a statue of Andrew Jackson in Lafayette Square on Monday night. The demonstration was part of an ongoing movement against systemic racism, which was sparked by the May 25th death of George Floyd. So I kind of watched a little bit of little live clips of this stuff last night, and there was, the big thing was, they're tear gassing the people in Lafayette Square again. No, these people were trying to destroy things, and so they dispersed them. But let me guess, the chicken is going to be gay or black. Well, it's going to be a black woman of color, a trans black woman of color. That's what it's going to be. No, non-binary chicken. Anyway, protesters have been tear gassed. Oh my gosh. Well, maybe stop trying to tear shit down. They're trying to create, what do they call it? The something black autonomous zone in this area of Lafayette Square, right near the White House. Also last night, the White House press corps was told by the Secret Service they needed to evacuate the White House, which only means that they had information that there may be another attempt to breach the White House. I don't think it happened because it would have been top news today, but I think that's what happened. Anyway, Bill Simmons is under fire after employees call out lack of service. Oh my God. Sports media giant is now Bill Simmons is under fire after employees call out lack of diversity at The Ringer. The sports media giant is facing backlash. That's probably more appropriate. After several staffers from The Ringer voiced their frustrations about the digital outlet's diversity problems to the New York Times. In response, Simmons told New York Times, "It's a business. This isn't open mic night." Hell yeah! You tell their asses, Bill Simmons. Oh, Bill. Now that's an answer. You know what? This is my business. Fuck off. I'll hire who I can that fits the job descriptions that I need. Good luck, Bill. Rest in peace. Anyway, Let's see. Cuban Pete, don't know, don't care. Creepster? What the hell's Creepster? Is this a game? Oh, God. Oh, I see. Washed up Creepster John Bull. Okay. Trump tweeted, and so the word Creepster is trending, and everyone's calling Trump a Creepster. Whatever. That's, Trump. If Trump tweets it, they will tweet. So obviously anything that Trump tweets is going to trend. I'm just getting tired of it, so I'm skipping it. Anything else interesting? Marge Schott is trending. Why is Marge Schott's been dead for years? Oh, are they going to take down a statue of Marge Schott? Okay, breaking. The University of Cincinnati board votes unanimously 9-0 to remove Marge Schott's name from baseball stadium. So Marge Schott gave the money to build the University of Cincinnati baseball stadium, which the former Reds owner, who came under fire because they thought she was a racist. So now Marge Schott's name is going to be being removed from all sorts of places. It blows my mind there was anything on this planet named after Marge Schott. She repeatedly praised Hitler, kept a Nazi armband in her house, and on multiple publications used the N-word. It's astonishing that her name remained on anything, and yet people are defending her. Are they? Nobody liked Marge Schott. It's weird that they're taking their name off a stadium that she paid for. But anyway, whatever. If they want to rename it and they vote to do it and they do it the right way, more power to you. Yes, exactly. Exactly what I was thinking. All right, finishing up here. Anything else interesting? Oh, do I want to click Alan Dershowitz? Oh my God. The other thing that was on here, let's see. Christianity. Nah, I'm going to skip it. I'm going to call it a day. Because, just because, you know what I haven't done? I'm going to check the hashtag. I haven't done it in a while. I can't remember my hashtag. PDK Live? Oh, news. The Morning Night Live News. Is that what it is? No, that's not it. What's my hashtag? I forgot my hashtag. That's how long it's been. PDK News. PDK News. All right, here we go. Let me get caught up in some PDK news here, which I haven't done. I apologize for those of you who've been contributing. Pirate Pete. This is just a little meme from Pirate Pete. Random person at the store. You aren't wearing a mask. Me? I'm also not wearing any underwear. Have a nice day. That's cute. That's cute. All right. Let's see here. Oh, this is creepy. Okay, let's see what's creepy here, Jay Wolf. Am I going to be really creeped out? Let's find out what this is. UK school apologizes after asking 11-year-old student to define hardcore pornography and texting. Yeah, I saw this. Children as young as 11-year-old were given homework by their school in England asking them to define terms like hardcore pornography, breast ironing, and sexting, among other explicit topics. Yeah, believe me, here it is. This is supposedly it. Sexuality, drag queen, heterosexual, homosexual, transvestite, transgender pornography. Transgender pornography. That's pretty specific. Pornography, soft porn, hardcore porn, revenge porn, sexting. Yeah. Okay. The teacher's sorry, and I'm hopefully the teacher's fired. Yes, that's beyond the pale. Also, let's see. 17 arrested for child pornography. Oh yeah, that was a while back too. If you do, okay, so all the homeless people stole the food at Chaz.
Don't you know what anarchy is? You wear my love. You wear my flag. I'll slice your face off. You got something wrong with me? No.
Okay, so welcome to the Chaz. All right. All right. That's going to be it, guys, because I got to go. But hey, Yeah, best breast ironing. I've never heard that either. Never heard it. But anyway, y'all, thank you so much for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. If you would be so kind, before you go, on the way out, hit that like button and duck dog, you know what you do. And oh, I see the gayest person on YouTube is here, and I didn't even say hi. Hello, this is the gayest person on YouTube. Anyway, hit the like button on the way out. If you're new here and haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, hit that bell so you get notifications. If you're watching the replay, leave a comment in the comment section. And just so that I know you were here, I'd like to know when people come by. And finally, if you would like to donate to the cause, we're adding to the studio here with some sound equipment, and it would help greatly. You can do that through the PDawgNight.live website right there, where you'll get a Streamlabs link. And if you leave a message, I will read it. If you do it off hours, I'll read it the next day. Or if you do it during the show, we'll read it live, and you'll be a permanent part of that particular show. So, y'all, thank you so much for being here. But I gotta go. My name is PDawg Night, and I'm out of here. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawg Night, and thank you for watching today on the PDawg Night channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I